going to take us live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Viewers may not hear you so clearly. Try lowering your background music. I don't have background music. It's just me.
Oos.
Day one-ish. Welcome to Incredibly Live. We're going to see... This is first time doing this ever. I'm here, Joey, with Uchi and the one and only Crystal. Yeah. Shout out, Crystal.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up TikTok and see if I can see us so I can try to get an understanding of what is actually happening and what is going on. So,
all good, because honestly, I'm out here just sharing out the link on my Twitter right now. And yeah, we're doing great.
we sound good.
That is
Actually
good.
sound really good. So I'm going to have us up on my phone. I have it set to, let's see, I can see join the live. Very cool. I'm giving us likes. This is fun. This is interesting. Well, what's the most interesting is that it's actually fucking working. So that's like the biggest thing for me right now.
No, that is important.
Oh, let me get a set 100 likes at least. Well, anyway, today our goal is to do a few things. One, we're going to be talking about the San Diego Comic-Con aftermath of all the Marvel news that came out regarding Fantastic Four, Mr. RDJ here, and the Thunderbolts, as well as give you guys our opinions, thoughts, everything that's been going on with Wolverine, Deadpool Wolverine. What a blast it was. I saw it twice because it's that nice. Thursday night, Friday night. Both were 100% packed. So it's a good time to be a Marvel fan, good time to be a Deadpool fan, good time to be a fan of the Fox property specifically, I will
Absolutely.
say. Yeah. So, how are you guys doing? How's the day been?
Pretty good. Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As per usual.
Yeah, just a normal Monday as far as normal goes.
Right.
I have like off on Mondays, which is nice. And I got to go to the gym and everything.
Oh, there you go.
So we're here for like a very impromptu type of stream here to talk about everything that went down because, couldn't really wait for Wednesday. We needed to do John right now.
Yeah, if we could have done it yesterday, definitely would have. If this is important news. So let's just dive right into it. If you are watching and you're watching vertically, turn that phone sideways and you'll get to see Uchi and Crystal in full view, a little bit more of me. We're testing out. This is our first time ever doing this live, so just trying to mess around, see what looks good, what doesn't look good, and help us out if you would. So we'll start with Deadpool Wolverine because topic of discussion. You and I have not really discussed it that much, which is like the first time ever. I think we've both been kind of like we're in this content zone.
Yeah.
But what are your guys' initial thoughts? Because for me, this was everything. This was like the perfect comic book summer fun blockbuster that it needed to be. That really to get Marvel back on its feet.
Yeah,
is kind of how I felt.
Okay.
What did you guys think? Well, let's get your initial reactions to the movie.
Crystal, you first.
Me first?
Yes, you first. Ladies first.
So initially I thought it was good. It was very funny.
Yes.
Very much like spot on Deadpool movie is exactly what it was. I think my initial rating of the movie is a little bit higher than what I think is now, but is not much lower.
Okay.
So that's my initial
Gotcha.
thoughts.
Ooch.
So we only saw it once.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we weren't able to see it multiple times like we would have liked
Right.
to. We still want to see it again.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I was initially kind of like on the fence between two numbers, and now after letting it sit for a weekend and kind of like talking it over and everything, I am more firm with my singular number.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm actually surprised to know and see on the internet that there's a lot of people that have just been giving it a 10.
Really? Straight up 10? This is
straight up 10.
That's like insanely rare
Yes.
for one, anything, two, anything Marvel, especially these days.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I'm gonna make a poll real fast to see how this actually works.
Okay.
I don't know how the fuck to do this, but
Oh, can we like also like repost streams on
oh,
TikTok? I'm about to find out
I
right
don't know.
now. Let me see. Yeah, because I'm on. Let me go to the channel. Oh, look. So I see that the thing is
Yeah,
live.
we're live. How fun is this?
Oh, look. I
Hey,
see
and
it.
if you are here, let us know you're here, please. Quick
Share.
poll.
Look at that. I just.
No.
It just says. Let me see. I'm looking at it. Oh, we can have goals. Oh, that's pretty cool. I see that you
Right.
set that up. Yeah, there's no reposting. There's just sharing it straight up, like copy the link or whatever.
Right.
So, okay.
Wait, you guys might have said this. Is there a chat for TikTok?
There is a chat for TikTok.
Yeah. You have to like join it from here, I think, though. Like from the actual app.
All right, because I could see the YouTube one. I wanted to see the TikTok one.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a poll going, so I don't know how the fuck it's actually gonna work. But basically, it's the what would you rate Deadpool poll. So
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. That's kind of fun. Anyway, so I saw the movie twice, obviously. And the first time I was obviously blown away, super high. You know how I get. I get so excited first off, right off the bat, and then hype kind of dies. But my hype has stayed consistent throughout the weekend. It is. I have ridden this train all the way to the end, and I'm still on it. I never got off. So this is probably like easily top 5 Marvel movies ever at this point. And I think it's only gonna probably get better with age, with what it ushers in and what it was able to do for Marvel now, but also the Marvel of old. So kind of my quick 2 cents. I don't want to do like a traditional rundown of the movie because I think that's kind of boring. So I kind of want to get your guys just thoughts and opinions on it. Only because we're also doing this just kind of off the cuff too. So yeah. So my first thought when it comes to this movie is that this was absolutely just like straight up a love letter to everything that came from Fox.
Yeah.
Like the end credits video with the with Green Day playing in the back with Good Riddance playing over the video of all the behind the scenes stuff from all
That shit was awesome.
the Fantastic Four movies to everything from the X-Men franchise and beyond. I teared up. Like it was seriously like such a surreal moment to have to see not only in spoilers, by the way, I think I have that in the name of the thing, but not only Blade, Elektra, and now Gambit, but for all of everybody that was involved in Fox. I think this is just like a love letter to them because really this is where Feige got his start, and a lot of people got their start in the MCU and then in Marvel as a whole. So, kind of my first impressions, and having this movie pay such great homage to Hugh Jackman's legacy, especially like with how they handled Logan specifically. Like, yes, they desecrated his body, which is one for Deadpool to do, but it's also like it was just so it was done tastefully, right? As untasteful and disgusting as it was, I feel like it was the only way that they could do anything with it and still honor Hugh at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. I think if in a weird way, I mean, it wouldn't have felt like a true Deadpool movie had there not have been some sort of like crazy ass over the top moment that is just like, wow, that's kind of wild that he actually dug up his body.
Right.
But then again, like, you know, at least he got it over with in the opening scene of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my thought on that. Did you have anything to add?
Specifically to the beginning of the movie, or
yeah, to what it stood for, I guess, when it comes to everything with Fox and how it handled, because you are newer to the MCU. You're kind of a veteran at this point. I think you've been in here for about a year and a half now, so I think you call yourself a veteran. Did you guys get to see Logan? Did you watch Logan?
Yes.
Yeah, so coming off of the high that, one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, having this have to supersede that and continue the legacy of Hugh Jackman, like how did that feel to you both?
So at first, honestly, I didn't realize that they were gonna have like this kind of realistic twist to it. Like I thought
Mm,
there was gonna be something like how he mentioned that he regenerates and stuff. So
right.
I thought there was gonna be some weird thing that happens there where we were gonna get that specific Wolverine back.
Yeah.
So I liked the direction that they went in, and it was very funny. Just like a typical Deadpool behavior. So I was very much a fan of it.
Mm.
Very gruesome.
Yeah, it's super gruesome, especially with NSYNC playing in the background. I don't think I expected anything less from from Deadpool.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was perfect. I don't know if you guys have seen, but the guy that did the um who was the dancer for Deadpool in that scene actually came out and did his own version of it without the suit. It's been like going around on TikTok. It's actually like really good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it went viral. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, it's so good. every like late 30s, 40-year-old woman is going insane over this. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I would be lying if I didn't admit that when that song was playing, I was definitely doing the when it was going on. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
that first of all, that song is a banger.
it is a banger.
It's a
Certified banger.
easy bop. Okay,
Absolutely.
felt very Deadpool. So
Right.
it was right at home.
Yeah.
With that.
How else do you guys feel about the movie? I have like a whole list that I can run down, but I thought them tying the TVA in worked perfectly. It wasn't like overdone. There's no mention of Kang, thankfully.
Surprisingly, I feel
yeah.
like that was one of the things that was off the table.
Right. I agree. But they also like barely mentioned Loki. Like the only time that Loki was mentioned was when Cassandra Nova said something about what the fuck is the fucking beast name in the void?
Oh, Eliath.
Eliath. When
yeah.
Elias showed up and Deadpool had mentioned that Eliath was from like Loki season 1, episode 5 or whatever like that. But that was like the only time Loki was mentioned, which was I thought that was interesting. And I thought it was interesting that we got to see another branch of the TVA. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we were really going to get to see more of them now that Kang has kind of been pushed to the wayside. Because it doesn't feel like Loki has been kind of overstepped, but it feels like that whole section is kind of in limbo now.
Mm.
Yeah, I think there was another mention, I think, of him. They didn't say specifically Loki, but I forgot who mentioned. It was someone from the TVA that said something about their superior or their creator. I forgot the exact
Oh.
verbiage that was
Yeah.
used,
Gotcha.
which I'm assuming that they were referring to Loki.
That's what
Right.
I thought too.
But yeah, I'm not sure if that was just like a direct.
Yeah.
Right. I guess that would have been
Yeah.
either Loki or Kang at
Kang,
that
yeah.
point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with this latest announcement of RDJ, I think Kang is kind of squashed at at this point. So I think, yeah, we'll see.
There's a lot to
Yeah.
talk about with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even concerning the Kang situation.
Right.
So I mean, we'll get through Deadpool, Wolverine, and then we'll get to that because
Yeah.
I don't want to get too all over the place because
Right.
that will happen very fast.
Yeah. What else we got going on? Oh, I guess we'll talk about this. The returns that happened in this movie.
I
The
need to
returns
applause.
and then the first timers.
Yeah.
The first timers
Mm.
specifically. What I know in my theater, it was an eruption. It was like a volcano of claps went off inside of my theater.
Nice.
Finally getting to see Blade back, which is honestly one of probably the biggest ones. We got to see Wesley Snipes back, Jennifer Garner back as Elektra,
Mm-hmm.
Channing fucking Tatum,
Bro.
Yeah. Yes.
That
as
shit was
Gambit,
crazy.
finally, first
Hell
time
yeah.
ever. And then X-23. I can't remember how to say her name. I don't remember what her name is off the top of my head.
Is
But
it Laura? Yeah.
Laura.
Laura. All back again, once again, and for the first time here in the MCU. Uchi, I had mentioned this to you. I had no fucking idea any of this was gonna happen. I didn't get spoiled, which thankfully this is like the first time ever that I haven't gotten spoiled on anything like this. But how does it feel to you guys? Because to me, this was like a holy shit moment. This was something that like, yeah, it was cool to get X-Men back, right? Like it was cool to
Yeah.
finally see X-Men, especially like when we saw Beast. It was really cool when we knew that Hugh Jackman was coming back. That was huge. Never in a million years
Mm.
did I think they'd pull Blade out, or did I
Oh.
think they'd pull Elektra out, especially Elektra. Nor
Yeah.
did I think they would be able to get Channing Tatum to come. I mean, I knew he was probably all these years been pitching and pitching and pitching, but to finally have him in the MCU proper
Yep.
is huge,
Very
especially for
huge.
him, for mutants, for fans of the original X-Men movies. This is like crazy. So like, how are you guys feeling about all this?
All right. So let me just start by saying that leading into this movie, we've had so many conversations
Mhm.
about how this could be the Fox Endgame, right?
Mhm.
That's what I was dubbing it, the Fox Endgame, where we get all of the heroes from the Fantastic Four movies, from both versions, from Punisher and Daredevil, Elektra, and obviously all the X-Men films, right? And I was imagining, and I said this on here several times, where I'm like, bro, they're gonna have a moment where they're gonna basically parody that Endgame scene where Cap is by himself. He's about to take on that entire army. And then Sam radios in. He's like, Steve, Cap, on your left. And they all come in through the portals. And it's like, dun, 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 dun. I really thought we were going to get that. But it's obviously not what happened. So like,
I'm low key surprised we didn't get the Avengers music. At
you
least
know,
I was surprised.
yeah, that's literally what I'm saying, right? Like, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But I was still very satisfied with who they were able to get and what they were able to do with them.
Yeah.
It is, I will say before I like go crazy hype, because there's a balance here. There was moments during a lot of that, like we're forming the team, that it was a shame that we didn't get to see any other X-Men related characters,
Mm,
right?
I see what you mean.
Because like Wolverine is like the only one. Like we
Yeah.
didn't get Cyclops, we didn't get Storm, Halle Berry Storm, right? We
Right.
didn't get none of those people, and we didn't even get no one from like the First Class end of things.
Yeah.
We only got a mention of Magneto, and like we got mention of like the Punishers, right?
Punisher, Daredevil. I think
Yeah.
Beast was well. They kind of like he started rattling off. He was like,
Mhm.
"No, this person. No, this person. No, this person." He's like, "Oh no, well, we had a Daredevil, but he died.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's a shame."
So in
Eh.
like in a very like Deadpool ass way, like they made
Yeah.
light and just they like I can appreciate that they didn't pretend like they didn't at least try, I guess, to like get the people that we would expect to see by at least making a direct reference and
Right.
saying like, yep,
Mhm.
like in story, like, yeah, we had Daredevil, but he died. Or
Right.
and it felt, and it was very Deadpool because it's just like it's like, oh, like what about Magneto? We could use his helmet. He's like, nope, not here. Fuck. Like like that's how they like approached it.
Right.
And like I appreciate, and it was a lot of fun. But even out of that roster of Fox characters, I still think having Elektra in there was hype. Having Blade in there was godlike. Cause like, tell me how we got the original Blade in the MCU before Mahershala Ali's Blade.
Right. It's before
Okay.
actual Blade.
Before the actual like
Yeah.
supposed Blade, right?
Right.
And then on top of that, obviously we got Laura X-23. So I guess she's the only character from the previous X-Men films that like came
Yeah.
back in, right?
Right.
But then the biggest surprise was a variant of Gambit whom we never saw come to life. And this was the first time, and they also had some references in that as well, which was I appreciated. And like Crystal, she didn't know. Like I explained to her, like after the movie was done, I
Mhm.
was like, this is a big deal because I remember back in the day hearing murmurs about how they were trying to make some sort of Gambit film
Yeah,
and he wanted to play that
trying.
role. Right, yeah, keyword on trying,
He
and
was
obviously it
like
didn't happen.
pushing for it for a while.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like it was a
Yeah.
long time. And then it just eventually just like those conversations just kind of like died away. And to see him pull up, man, like like we only saw it one time. But I remember like when he was about to come into the camera shot, you saw the cards first, right?
Yeah, he throws the card in. Oh,
As
brother.
soon
Yes.
yo,
So hype.
as soon as I saw that, I was like, there's no way that's Gambit.
Yeah.
And then it was fucking Channing Tatum of all people. And at that point, I was actually like popping off a little bit louder because you know
Yeah.
I try to be a civilized human being, in the
Right.
presence of the public and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I know it's hard,
it's some yo when you give me a hype ass movie like this,
right?
it is very hard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So all in all, I really did. I thought it was really fun, and
Yeah.
it was still very very cool. And you know what? To some degree, I think it still ended up working out because imagine if they were to get more cast to
It would have been
come back.
It would have been crazy.
Yeah, like I don't think we would have we still would have had really cool scenes and some cool choreography to like appreciate.
Right.
But those characters that were there wouldn't have gotten enough shine.
Yeah,
like, bro,
exactly.
Blade got hella action. Gambit got hella action. Electro, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone was working.
Yeah.
And I liked it a lot. So
When Blade had that moment, or not Blade, when Gambit had that moment in the fight before they jump in the portal, and he has the whole deck of cards and spreads out. Oh
Ooh,
my
that was
god, I
so
popped off
sick.
so hard, dude.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Ah,
That's
yeah.
literally what I'm saying.
I need that injected into my veins, like so hard.
That's facts.
And it was funny because so I went by myself, first time ever going to a movie by myself. Went to this, and so I was just
Big
never
mistake.
again.
Never again. We told
gonna-
you.
Not for Marvel, but I'll probably do it for other movies. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
it was. I felt like I was going insane because I was like jumping out of my fucking seat for this shit, and everybody else was too. But I was like, I don't have anybody to share this with. But so then I went with
Mhm.
Sarah, and she was like, "Is that fucking Gambit?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, it's fucking Gambit. She's like, "He was in Marvel." I'm like, "No, he never was." So
Yeah.
for somebody like her first introduction to the X-Men was X-Men '97,
Fire.
and so she was
Like
like,
that.
"Gambit's my favorite." I'm so spoilers for X-Men '97. I'm so sad that he died.
Mm.
And so for her to see him, recognize him, and she's like, "That's fucking Channing Tatum too." And I'm like, "Yes, it is." Like that's how sick this moment is. Just to have that realization was really cool. So Crystal, how is it for you?
So I feel like having all of those cameos, or even because a lot of them were just more than just quick cameos, they actually had screen time for a
Yeah,
while.
they were like almost like secondary characters, or like
Yeah.
tertiary
That's what I'm
characters. Yeah,
saying.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So to have that, because usually when we see movies, we tend to see like quick cameos or mentions or something like that. So being able to have that with characters that we haven't seen in years.
Yup.
Years.
That's facts.
or
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
yes.
For
Yeah.
a long time. And even though I wasn't as invested into a lot of this kind of like how I am now with Marvel, I still watched pretty much a majority of the movies. And so when I saw Jennifer Garner come out, I was like, holy shit. Oh my God. And then Blade coming out. And so Channing Tatum, when I saw him, I was hyped because I'm like, holy shit, that's Gambit. And I love Gambit a lot. And then, but secondly, I was also confused because I'm like,
He's not fucking Gambit.
yeah.
because okay, so you know how like there's those few actors who and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's like those few actors that play the same exact role in every single
Mhm.
movie or
Yeah, The Rock.
anything they do.
Right.
So like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like The Rock and Channing Tatum is one of those people. He like
Yeah.
plays the same, and it's not a bad thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
No,
Like,
because he's good at what he does.
yeah, Joan
Yeah.
Cusack, she plays the same goddamn person every time. So, but she's not a bad actress. It's just that's her role that she plays. And so when I saw Channing Tatum, I was so confused because I'm like, he's one of those people that plays a very similar character in all the
Right.
stuff that he does. But then he told me about how like it apparently there was supposed to be a Gambit movie coming
Yeah.
out and everything like that. But overall, I was really excited. I feel like so I do have a slightly different opinion
That's
Mm.
fine. Go ahead.
than
Let
Yeah.
it rock.
than most people about the movie. So I think it was good. I feel like it could have been better.
Mm.
The reason being is I feel like, and I hope I don't get hates in the comments, but I feel like those cameos and those like surprise guest characters that we got to see come in, and then the comedy of it all is really what truly carried the movie and made it what it was.
Mhm.
And so I think that's why people are so like the whole nostalgia of everything.
Yeah.
I think that's why everyone popped off. And usually
Yeah.
Hackettstown Theater is
Putting us out there. Yep.
yeah. Oh, sorry, but the theater that we go to,
It's okay. It's just airing us.
Yeah.
the theater that we tend to go to, they're not the type to
Pop off. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty fucking lame. Not
Yeah,
gonna
they're
lie.
Mhm.
so lame, so lame. And so this was like one of the first times that I actually started to hear a reaction from the theater.
Oh,
Right.
that's awesome.
And that just goes to show you, like, it was packed
Yeah.
by the time we got there. And people were going off.
Yeah.
So-
Like our theater is a good indicator. Like it's okay, it's so weird to like have this kind of scale, but like she was mentioning, like the area that like I'm at, the audience, I suppose you can say, you wouldn't think there's a lot of comic book fans,
Right.
but for a movie like this, they all come out of hiding.
Mhm.
So like
It's all the
for
old
ex-
heads.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's a mixture. It's a
Right.
true mixture of people. And when a theater like ours fills up for something like that, that's how you know. I'm like, okay, yep, this is making mad money. Like that's
Yeah.
how I could tell. So yeah, you could go, keep going.
Yeah. So that's how I knew it was an indicator that this movie was gonna make some money, and
Mhm.
people were gonna come out to like hearing a reaction like that. I never hear that reaction from that theater, so
Right.
it was nice. It was refreshing.
It was a little something, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a New York City.
No. It wasn't like that, but it was still there was still some clapping here and there a little bit, still
Yeah.
voices in the background, so it was nice. It was one of my favorite parts to be able to see all those characters, and then Johnny Storm.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
my
Let's not
God.
forget my man. Oh.
That was sick. And then we saw like Sabretooth in there, and
Yeah, all the
Um,
X-Men villains.
All the juggernauts and
Juggernaut,
shit. Yeah.
Azazel was there.
Yeah, Zazel was there too. Yeah.
Psylocke was in there.
yeah.
So
Uh,
that Psylocke we never saw before, I don't think. That was a brand new
Couldn't tell
Psylocke.
you.
Yeah,
But
no,
that tracks.
seriously. Like I remember I looked at you, I'm like, that I figured that was a Psylocke.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the
Shit,
whip
the-
come out, yeah.
Psylocke was there, and then Lady Deathstrike was there too. I don't know if
Deathstrike
you
was
saw-
there
yes.
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Pop for all of it. But Crystal, I low key agree with you. It relied heavily on the nostalgia factor, but also that nostalgia factor I think was the main plot driver as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
and
sense.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. So like pretty much what I was telling him before too is that I guess what I was expecting, and I think partially you were expecting as well, was that I thought coming into this movie it wasn't going to be like a super heavy Deadpool movie. I
Mm.
thought it was going to be more like a regular Marvel film
Okay.
that had Deadpool just thrown in there for
Right.
like they had the
Comedic
Deadpool
effect.
twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was expecting because I'm thinking like, oh man, this movie is gonna be the true turning point of what's to come for the MCU from here on out. Like it's supposed to basically indoctrinate everyone that is technically not a part of the MCU and officially be a part of the MCU. And then when I saw the TVA was being used in there too, I thought that he was going to be a little bit more involved with the TVA. I was expecting
Oh, yeah.
like
I know what you mean.
I think it was more the whole storyline of it all, like the plot. I feel like like that was a little bit more weaker for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra Nova, not that she's a bad character, but I feel like the nostalgia, the 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 characters that we got to see from previous movies and the comedy, all of that was fantastic and truly like drove that movie, but like the whole storyline was a little bit weaker than what I was expecting.
Mm.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I think to me it almost was trying to be like a swan song for Fox,
That's exactly
and
what it
to
was.
be
Yeah.
this for, and I think that's um specifically for like Blade, who Blade Trinity not well received, not well loved, as everybody knows. Elektra, that movie's kind of ass, and Channing never really got his shot. So using them as the main plot drivers, plot device for the movie, as well as um, this broken Logan as sort of like this redemption arc. Like the whole movie is basically to try to redeem oneself and to right the wrongs of the past, which is
Yeah.
basically what it's trying to do. I think having and using the nostalgic characters as a way of doing that was probably the best way to do it, while also getting kind of like it is kind of in a way, to use wrestling terminology, a cheap pop to add these characters. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's
Mm.
bringing Undertaker out at WrestleMania to stop The Rock. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of in a way that's kind of how it feels. Free said is pure fan service, but is fun in an authentic way, and I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Um, I think if you didn't have the nostalgia factor, it wouldn't have been as great of a movie. I don't think the Deadpool Wolverine aspect of it was strong enough. But because it does have it, I still love it. So it's like, but
Yeah.
Crystal, I absolutely agree with you. Like if you
Yeah.
pull that away, it's not there, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the movie isn't there. So I completely agree. Um, there's one part that I didn't that didn't mesh with me as well as the rest of the movie, and specifically it was the scene with, and we don't have to be all negative about Deadpool right now, but the scene specific, because this is just on my mind, the scene with the Deadpool core with that
Uh-huh.
whole fight sequence, it just felt like it was too much. Like they were doing too much in that sequence, um, to get to the part that we all wanted to see, which was Hugh Jackman masked up, claws back when they jumped out of the
Mhm.
bus at the end. Outside of that, the whole movie was great to me, but that was like the one scene that just did not land with me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Was it were you like were you like thrown off by the amount of Deadpools or something or
it just felt like too too cheesy to me. Like how the
Mm.
Deadpools were acting in the bus, how they were just all acting overall. It felt like too much. Outside of the MCU,
Mm-hmm.
not really the biggest Deadpool fan. Like Deadpool is great and all, but
Yeah.
Deadpool is like
Yeah.
on my list of favorite characters. He's pretty far down because I'm not, when he was like peak Deadpool, like when the games came out, when the first movie came out.
Yes.
Yes, I do that because it's stable.
Yeah. That's
Did it
pretty
really?
cool.
Did it save to the cloud? If it's saved, allow access. Preparing your studio. It might have saved my studio.
All right.
Okay, so we're back on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, we're
Okay, cool.
live.
Wow, that sucked.
Hey.
Hey, sorry, we're back now. Oh, my chat actually works now too. Let's go.
Yeah,
Continue
shout
live.
outs to Sarah on the TikTok.
Sarah holding it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. She did say that she mentioned, I wanted to bring it up, that it was packed as hell and it was honestly so much fun to hear other people laugh, gasp, and clap, which honestly is one of the best things you can have happen at a movie theater when you get to share that experience, not just with who you go with, but like with everybody that's like around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
Which is
But
why like Marvel movies are so great,
yeah.
because you have all of that camaraderie. You have everyone there for a shared purpose, cheering together for the good
Mm-hmm.
guys to win at the end of the
For
day,
the
or
good
for
guys.
whoever the fuck to win at the end of the day, right? And there's like not I've never had an experience in a movie theater like I've had with a Marvel movie. Like even going to see
Yeah.
Dune, like it was pretty cool and all, and it's like very much so a theatrical experience to like going to see or like it's like a movie event, a blockbuster, I guess you should say,
Yeah.
like going to see a blockbuster like that. But the energy wasn't there like it was with Deadpool, I will say.
Yeah.
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 And then Freeze, I'm assuming it's like Gone Freeze from Hunter x Hunter, said that it's been a while since No Way Home that a theater has felt like this, and I could not agree more. Like the energy at No Way Home was just like electric. Like it was even electric when we went to go see it for the re-release. Like it was insane. And so to finally be able to capture that again is just incredible. I think Deadpool actually has like top 5 opening weekend now for all Marvel movies.
Well, it's I can tell you factually, aside from the Marvel side of it, it's the highest grossing R-rated movie
Yes.
ever.
That's crazy.
Yo,
Mhm.
it
I think
made like $500 million already.
That's
pretty
insane.
much. Yeah.
I looked at it before and like it had to beat out like Passion of the Christ.
Oh
Um,
God. Yeah, that's
and
OD. He's
Deadpool
Marvel
1.
Jesus
Yes,
after all.
he is. That's what I said. He is Marvel Jesus. He beat out Jesus, real life Jesus. That's crazy.
That's broken.
That's
That's
crazy,
crazy.
right? Did you guys have a favorite scene from the movie?
That's a good question.
Mm,
I gotta think about that.
okay.
Do you have one?
I got mine. If
Okay, go ahead.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
My favorite scene was Wolverine going the fuck off on Deadpool after he said, "What do you mean if?" And then like he goes off on him on like this like whole minute and a half monologue about how Deadpool is like the worst piece of garbage of all time.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool just turns to him and is like, "I'm going to fight you now." And then they have that massive fight in the Odyssey. I thought that was like perfect Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Like it was him, and it was the first time he's like, "What, you got nothing to say, mouth?" And then it was just like perfect energy, perfect execution, like just the absolute perfect Wolverine example, like textbook, just in that moment. And the whole fight that ensued was awesome. Everything that happened when the song from Greatest Showman played for like 2 seconds. Like I popped for that because I love Greatest Showman. Just that scene encapsulates everything I think that we love about the dynamic of Deadpool and Wolverine, but then also what we love about comic books and comic book movies as a whole, right?
Naturally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It felt like a wrestling match. It was like a stipulation, like you can fight, but only in the Odyssey. Like you can
Yeah. Well, off the top of my head, one of my favorite moments, not like my absolute number one, but one of them was actually right early on when we got reintroduced to Johnny Storm.
Dude.
All right, shout outs.
He's gonna say it.
He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. He's
Flame
like,
on.
Flame on.
Oh my god. The fact that started it all off, like that was, being the first cameo, we're like, oh, fucking Cap's back, let's go.
Yeah.
Psych.
Yeah. And what sold it even more so was the fact that like Deadpool is the only one in this audience of people that's there where he's looking around, he's like,
okay, I think we're back.
All right.
And it's not even like, it's not overloading the system. It's literally like, I don't know. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast. That killed the mood. I was so fucking hyped talking about Johnny Storm, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Well, we could just let's just stay on YouTube.
So Crystal, have you seen the Fantastic Four movies? Have you guys watched those yet?
Yes. Yeah. Did we watched all of them?
Yes. So, no.
No, not the
we
remakes,
we didn't
Yeah.
watch Fan Four Stick is what fans refer to.
Yeah, you don't need to watch that one.
Yeah.
But come on. Like so all right. In fairness, right? The point of seeing all the other Marvel Johns, as I put it, is so that way we can say we've seen them, and that way we can accurately shit on them or praise them. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Because like I'm not a fan of people that hate on anything and they've never experienced it. You know what I'm saying? Like take a movie. They hate on it. I'm like, okay, well, why was it bad? Oh, I don't know. I just heard that was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's annoying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the fact that I saw the Punisher movie right? See, see, like,
Jesus.
see, yo, the funny thing is, you have to see it. You have to rewatch it because you fell
Mm.
asleep.
Yeah.
Listen,
I sat through that shit, and that was funny as fuck.
yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's
Oh
an
no, it's
awful movie.
ass.
Yeah, it's an awful movie. It's so bad, but it's so bad it's good.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
it's so much fun.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you can sit and point and laugh at it the whole time, that's when you know it's fun. That was kind of like Madam Web. I was doing the same shit.
Yeah, but, but as far as Fan Four Stick goes, that's the movie that I always get flamed on by my family because when we all went to go see it in theaters, it was like all my cousins, all of us, and literally it was like me and my one cousin were like, "Oh yeah, no, it was pretty good. It wasn't bad." Everybody else was just like, that movie was fucking garbage. It was trash. And they were just shitting on it the entire time, like making fun of it, laughing, whatever. And I was just like, guys, it was not a bad film. Like, I mean, it probably could have been a lot better, but this is going off of my memory. I never rewatched it after that. But that experience was so like, I don't even know, like
Yeah.
burned into my memory because of all the flaming and the constant like reminder of it. It's like,
You know what I think it is? And this could be just my opinion. I mean, it is my opinion, but I feel like people tend to hold on to nostalgia very, very hard.
oh, they do.
They like
Absolutely.
hard to the point where it kind of distorts them. Like it completely enables them to have an ability to, I guess, rate certain things or view certain projects that are remakes of it. And I get it. Like you see the original Fantastic Four, if you liked it, you see the remake, it's like it's not the same. Like for me, I'm going to bring this up. You might come at my neck. I don't care. So Daredevil, right?
Uh-huh.
The show or the
What's his
movie?
name? The show. Carly,
Okay.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie
Yeah,
Cox.
Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that if there was a different actor playing him, like let's say they didn't choose Charlie, there was a different actor playing him, a really good one, and then let's say they were remaking it and then chose Charlie to become the new Daredevil as the remake, people would flame his ass. But me saying right now, I mean Charlie Cox is okay, but whatever, people come at my neck.
Because he was godlike. That's why.
I feel like people hold on to nostalgia a little bit too hard for me because, like, you know what I mean? And I think that's
Yeah.
one of those situations. I mean, I haven't seen the remake of the Fantastic Four, so I wouldn't be able to fully
Right.
say
Yeah.
like which one is better or not. But I feel like people tend to always say like with the original or even Toby.
Oh my
From
God.
Spider-Man,
You
he's
hear this,
not-
girl?
Yeah.
Holy
Listen,
shit.
Whatever I said, what I said.
I'll say this though. You guys need to watch the original Daredevil movie.
Yo, no,
and
no.
then-
We
Oh.
did.
Oh, okay. With
We
Ben
did.
Affleck? Yeah.
Uh-huh. I watched it several times, even
Yeah.
way before I met you.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm telling you, Joey, that movie is another example. It was so weird that it was godlike. Because one of my favorite scenes is the training arc, I call it,
Mhm.
when they're all like getting ready for the big fight to fucking bring me to life. Evanescence. Yo.
That movie's a fucking period piece, bro.
As soon as that started happening, I looked at her. I was like, and she already knew what I was thinking. She was like, "No, it's not godlike." I'm like, "This movie is godlike." It was so good.
It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what's his face as Foggy?
Yo,
yeah,
oh my
Happy.
God, Happy was Foggy.
Happy's Foggy.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is.
I don't know. Oh, I was about to call him Happy Hogan, but then I realized.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I don't remember his actor
Oh
name.
my God.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he's in it, and yeah, that movie's something else. And I believe that Ben Affleck Daredevil is who they referenced when Elektra, when they're like, "Oh yeah, that Daredevil died," and she's like, "Eh." She was kind of like, "Eh, whatever."
Oh, well,
Like, she's kinda glad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, so things like that I appreciate out of this movie too was like when they had the opportunity to kind of poke fun at any real life moments that had to do with the actors, especially when they had like some sort of relationship. Like
Yeah.
they did it with her, they did it with Wesley Snipes and
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Cause like,
I don't
and
like you.
I didn't know this, but apparently Wesley Snipes was hella difficult to work with. Like Ryan Reynolds was in those movies too, or at least in the last one.
He was in Trinity, yeah.
He was in Trinity, and the way Wesley Snipes would handle business is he would stay in his trailer and he would pass post-it notes to the fucking director whenever like he needed to do something, and he would be in that trailer for hours. I'm like, bro, like why you acting all Hollywood for? You know, but that's why he was difficult, and that's why he didn't like Ryan Reynolds. But they made reference to it, and they still were able to be professionals and grown ass people.
It was over 20 years.
Oh yeah, of course.
Sure
That'd be
Wesley's a different
squashed by
person.
now.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
like that.
I fucking loved it, man.
Yeah.
It was a great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. All right. So, let me think. I had
Do you
a
want to
list.
go do scores, or do you want to just go?
Yeah, that's
talk
what I was
to-
thinking.
Okay.
Who's your favorite returning character? Or new character?
Low-key, I want to say Gambit.
Okay, that's fair. I'll
okay.
accept that.
You know, low
Kinda
key.
wanna- yeah.
Low key. I'm also gonna say Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's fire.
Yeah.
With Channing Tatum being like obviously I know like the history now, but I was a little afraid. I was like, is he gonna be good enough to play this role that's usually out of like his, you know, what he usually does?
Repertoire.
Yeah. So but it was sick. Like the fighting scenes that he had.
Fucking crushed it. You know, he's been training 20 years to play that role. You know, he's gonna put his whole pussy
Yeah,
into that
son.
fucking role, dude.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Hey, I okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I feel like I'm gonna have to just say the same thing. I'm not even gonna lie.
No,
Because-
don't be persuaded by us.
Nah. There's no persuasion. Because think about it. When I'm thinking back, right? One of my answers would have been, I'm thinking back to all of the appearances that made me react the most,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
Clearly seeing freaking Johnny Storm with Human Torch, right?
Oh, easy. Yeah.
That was probably my next
Seeing
thing.
him coming out of the freaking hood in the beginning, I was not ready for. I was like, right? Big gasp of air. And he did the whole flame on, and he wasn't like immediately killed. Like he was not a cameo, which is what I loved about this movie, was that these characters and these actors, they got time, even if it was a little bit. They had time to shine, and they had their lines, and they fulfilled the role that they were supposed to do. They didn't kind of like overstay their welcome or anything like that. And then the next big one that comes to mind is obviously Blade, because I was just like, oh my God, it actually happened. And I can't believe it. Like Wesley Snipes, like all the rumors that I was hearing about him, Elektra, all came true. Henry Cavill, even. That was
my
fucking
God.
crazy. I was waiting. I was like, okay, I know one of these is not gonna be Hugh. And it was fucking Henry Cavill. And of course, in Ryan Reynolds fashion, Deadpool is like, hey man, we won't treat you bad like those guys down the street. Fucking shoot at them. Shoot at them. Let them know. What's a DC? Right? That's what I'm saying. But yeah, honestly, I think truly the most hype appearance had to be Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yeah.
Just off of the fact that out of everybody in that movie, he was the one character that didn't even have anything. He came from a potential project that never existed. It was only through word of mouth that we as fans got reports on based on whatever people that leaked that information out to the public and everything like that.
Right.
So the fact that we saw that, and my man was putting in work, and I was so impressed because this wasn't just Channing Tatum playing Gambit. This motherfucker sounded and acted like the Gambit that we recognize from the animated series.
Mhm,
He had the Cajun accent, and I was blown away. I was like, his range has just
yeah.
like for
Through the
me.
moon. Channing
Yeah.
Tatum's stock is up.
Up.
My favorite part about it was that I had no idea what he was saying at any point in time.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. I don't
perfect.
know what
It's
he's saying in
perfect.
the fucking animated series too.
Exactly. Mon cher. That's about it.
Share is the one word.
Yep, share. I really wanted to say remember it, but I was like, we just got it. We got it in the series.
Yeah.
It would have been really good, but I'm happy with what we got.
Gambit is so meta. Free says that's fucking hilarious.
It's true. It's very true. And then favorite. Give me your favorite cameo. And mine would have to be the Cavalrine, because literally did not
Free.
fucking expect that shit whatsoever. Popped it. I kind of thought Cash was gonna be Cavill, but having just even seeing that was really fucking cool. Actually, seeing all of the covers basically throughout Wolverine history was insane.
Oh yeah, I
didn't even touch
remember.
on that.
Remember the X?
Yeah.
And you pointed out, you're like, that's probably a comic cover.
No, I seen it.
When
you-
he's,
oh,
when
so
he's
there you go.
on the he's
Yeah.
on the X in the,
Yeah,
the
the
skull,
one-
the,
The one
skull
with
field.
all the skulls
Yeah,
mounting up. Yeah. I seen that before.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's a comic book cover.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Incredible.
Was pretty sick.
But yeah. Cavalrine and then Hulk making a brief appearance was fucking sick too. And then now there's rumors and speculation that we're gonna get a Wolverine Hulk movie, which would be like absolutely insane.
Okay. Well, hey, all right. To not burst any bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to now pop at least one. Okay.
Mine.
Yes. Because as much as I would want to see that, I don't even know when and where they would even be able to fit that in with
Right.
what's coming.
Yeah.
Because we can't forget they are now doing this whole we're not going to do quality or quantity over quality anymore. We're going to stick to the quantity, even though I'm sure that would do really well.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I feel like their focus is what's in front of them, and that's totally okay.
Mhm.
Because if they were to just say, hey, Hugh, can you just come and we just shoot a you fighting Hulk movie? It's like, first it would come out of nowhere. It would be some completely left field. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would even bring that about? I feel like
Right.
we're not going to get that specific entanglement until after the incursion happens.
Oh yeah. Everything resets.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
And then it'll be Henry Cavill Wolverine versus some other Hulk at that point. So
Well, that's hey, listen.
or Henry
that's-
Cavill Hulk. Hey man, you never know.
Listen,
He's
Ryan.
big enough. Paint him green.
That's actually true. Yeah, that's actually fun. Listen, Ryan Reynolds, he made the joke and he says this is gonna have him be Wolverine for until he's 90.
Until you're 90.
Mhm.
And now Tony's there too. Until you're 90.
My thing is, we have a multiverse. Why not just have whoever you want as whoever it is? I mean, not like anybody, but you know what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. Is there anything else you want to go in on this or?
Yeah. Well, that was Crystal, your favorite cameo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my favorite cameo.
Yeah.
So we can't say the ones that had like screen time, right?
'Cause that's
not a
they
cameo.
weren't
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
really
would be like
cameos.
Cavill popping up or Hulk popping up.
Probably Hulk then, because I think everyone else was pretty much the
Yeah.
people that had screen time.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Yeah, and Hulk was like very out of left field, like didn't expect it whatsoever, just to get it even for a few seconds, you know?
yeah, and I loved how we saw what's her name, B26
Oh,
or
B14.
B16?
B14.
B14.
B14. Okay.
She's not a cameo. She had lines.
No, I know she's not a cameo,
But to
I just
have her
wanted
was
to
really
say,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really cool. I don't know what I was expecting, but
Yeah,
you know.
well, because she became like head of TVA at the end
Yeah.
of Loki,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I don't think I was expecting her. I popped for her too. I was because
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for
Yeah.
that. I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's Owen Wilson?" Like,
That's what. Oh
Yeah.
man, I thought the same thing.
but then I'm
dude.
like, then I was thinking, I was like, "Wow, if all these cameos, this budget must have been insane." I was like, "There's no way."
I can
So,
imagine.
I know Owen Wilson probably asked a pretty penny, so
That would have been awesome.
yeah, that would have been the only other thing that I would have wanted. Would have been Owen. I
could have
think.
had a wow, easy
Wow.
one wow. Like could have just
Wolverine. Wow.
Wow.
I also love that he made a little uh like he made like a reference to his wife.
Oh
sick.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
do you consider that a cameo?
No,
Well,
not a
Blake.
I mean, she was in it. She
Yeah,
was
she
Yeah.
played Lady
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. Yeah, yeah.
And then their
played her.
daughter was Kidpool.
Oh,
No
I didn't know
way.
that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yep, I saw it in the credits because it was Lady Deadpool, Blake Lively, and then I don't remember what their daughter's name is, but
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's
They
cool.
just had their fourth kid, I think. But yeah, that
Jesus
was
Christ,
yeah.
good for
'Cause
them.
to be honest, I think one of my favorite scenes, which I didn't say earlier, was like the opening scene, and I love how he made a reference to that because that is like stuck in my head. The opening scene,
Facts.
it really is.
I'm sure that song got way more
Yeah.
plays on Spotify after that movie.
Yeah, like besides the ending when him and Wolverine were trying to save everybody, whatever.
Yeah, I was
that
hype
was that was pretty
moment.
sick.
Yeah.
But the opening scene was one of my other favorites.
Yeah.
And he made a reference to like how he gets a boner watching Gossip Girl. Which is sick.
Yes.
Because she's the main character, and I'm like, oh, I love that. And
Yeah.
I love that she got to be a part of the movie too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah. That is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
very wholesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deadpool wholesomeness.
Oh, Deadpool wholesomeness is yeah.
Yeah, and they both have similar like I follow them online. They both have similar like Jesus, I'm losing my words.
That's me all the time, girl.
Yeah, like his like gosh, what is the word?
His what? I want to help you.
Like his oh my god, it's like at the tip of my tongue.
Presents.
Not presence, but his like they're both the same, like they're both they're
Similar energies.
no, they're similar energies, but them being able to make jokes together,
Yeah.
they have the
Mm.
same type of
Yeah.
like,
Humor.
humor. There you go.
Yeah,
My
sense of
God.
humor.
Yeah.
it's okay.
Ah, you good.
Jesus, I was losing it. Yeah, they have the same sense of humor, so it's really nice to like see that off screen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Free
Love
said,
them.
I don't think Hugh Jackman is making another movie without Ryan, and that's why they're both gonna be involved in the future projects. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And to be real, I feel like when the timing is right, Hugh will be a part of whatever it is that they have plans for him, because there's no way he's gonna just come back for this one film and not be a part of this grandiose moment that has yet to happen.
Yeah.
Which obviously is when we have Hugh, when we have RDJ, when we have Toby, and whoever the hell else you want to throw in there. It's going to happen.
I believe Hugh has said since the movies come out, he was like, I don't know what I've been doing for the last 20 years. He was like, I don't know why I wasn't doing this for the last 20 years.
And there it is.
Yeah.
He admitted that recently.
He's definitely seen the light, and the light is Kevin Feige. So
I
mean, it's
forget.
not his fault.
We're probably referencing the same thing, but he admitted that shortly after he was getting ready to like retire the character, and then he saw what the hell was going on. He was like, fuck. Like he was like in his mind, he was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I stopping this thing? But I'm glad in a way it all worked out.
Yeah.
Because he got to take a break from it, and the way everything that has been playing out has happened, Disney owning Fox now and everything like that. Like, it's almost as if like all of this is really like kind of meant to be in some weird like fourth, fifth, sixth dimensional way.
Right.
And like we are naturally coming to the moment where Marvel Studios has access to everybody that they would want, so that they can truly bring some comic book moments to life,
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it. I'm super excited. And he's even before that, I mean, he's even said publicly that he would love to team up with Captain America and Iron Man and shit like that.
Imagine,
bro?
That'd be
There's no and here's the other thing. I will throw this in there. When they asked what was it, Chris Evans? They asked him after his performance doing Human Torch, Johnny Storm in this movie. They said, "Do you have any interest in coming back as Captain America?" He says, "I don't think so." Of course he's gonna say that. Of
Yeah.
course he's gonna say that. Listen, I watch wrestling. We all watch wrestling. We already know.
Yeah.
Whatever they say, they're lying because they try to keep this shit a secret. So
Mhm.
the big pop off and the payoff
Mhm,
actually
mhm, mhm,
happens.
mhm.
It's like, we didn't think that Robert Downey Jr. re-expressing interest in coming back. We didn't think that meant he wanted to be fucking Doctor Doom.
Right.
We just automatically assume like, oh, they're gonna bring him back as Tony. I mean, they are, but we'll get to that. So it's gonna happen. Like, I'm like really excited. Like, I really am for all the things that are supposed to be coming up in the future and whatnot.
All right. So ratings, real fast.
I want to hear yours.
Mine.
Yep. We'll go Crystal first.
So originally it was like high 9s.
She said 9.8.
Yeah, I said 9.8. But
This was day after, day
This
of.
was the day of.
the day of, pretty much right after. But now I would say like an 8.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
I would say an 8.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because there are something we gotta be more critical of these movies.
Yes.
And so I'm going 9.5 because it's not perfect. And
Perfect.
perfect. I've expressed that. So
Yeah.
9.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I came out, I told Crystal that I was stuck between 8 and a 9. Right? After talking about it several times throughout the weekend, talking about it here, I can rule out the 8 altogether. It's definitely not no 8.
Of course.
Okay. And I am notoriously known for rating things too high, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with he
Perfect
said 10. Nah. So for all of the great things that happened out of this movie, I will admit that the feeling I got after it was done, I was satisfied, but I wasn't like full, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't stuffed. I wanted to be stuffed. I wanted to be so stuffed that I got completely like knocked out of my seat type.
Marvelitis.
Marvelitis. That's a great term. And, I have to be real because, like, this was as great as it was and as amazing. And, some moments were very over the top. But,
Yeah.
like, Crystal had said, that was obviously the driving factor and force behind it was the humor. And obviously the usage of the nostalgia characters that, from previous Fox films and whatnot. Like, I don't think nostalgia is a bad thing, especially if you do it right. And they did it
agree.
right. They really did. It didn't feel like a cop out. It felt like it was a very it was a story and a plot that was easy to follow, and it was still pretty effective because, like, even though, like, Paradox from the trailers seemed like he was going to be a bigger threat and a bigger
agree.
deal. And then when you watch the movie, it's just like this fucking guy is like
middle manager.
a scrub, Yeah, like he's like an ASM. Like,
yes, he is.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's not even that serious, but the threat he's posing is a bigger deal.
Yes.
But, this guy just kind of had like a back corner office and just managed to have some foot soldiers that, followed his beliefs and shit into trying to basically take over the TVA, which, not gonna lie, is a concept and a plot. It's almost like a subplot point that you would see out of like some sort of a side story or a side quest from something. So I'm not saying all this to kind of devalue it, but I'm just bringing it up to add some realistic, like, feeling. Like, we were all there to see Deadpool and Wolverine have that final interaction that was being built up since Deadpool 1. Deadpool has wanted to be teaming up with the X-Men, especially Wolverine, since that first film.
Yeah.
And now they finally was able to do it. And that's what we were there for. Obviously, we were there to see if any of those rumors would come true, and they did. A lot of them did. They definitely delivered on that. But all in all, it still felt like a Deadpool movie. It did not feel like it was gonna be that and then some, because now with all the added Marvel flavors,
Right.
they actually managed under the Disney helm to produce a Deadpool movie. And you can even see that with the after credit scene. They
Mhm.
decided to just do another joke at the end. And that's how they closed it out. And when that happened to me, I was just like, "Oh, okay, well, whatever." So, and I cannot take away all of the great cool things that happened out of it. And obviously that leaves potential for, things in the future. It is a shame that there were other pieces and other characters that we did not get to see, but I am solidifying my 9.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think you wanting more is a good thing from this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And I think not getting the other characters is also a good thing, because I don't think you want too many cooks in the kitchen. You
Right,
don't want
right.
too much to go on.
Yeah.
And I think it lends itself to leaving the story unfinished.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's awesome that we are still walking out of these theaters wanting more.
Exactly.
We're not walking out of Aquaman 2 being like, what the fuck? Like, what, we weren't walking out of there or out of Madam Web, right? So
Yeah.
all in all, it was a good time. I'm really excited to see what happens next. Wolverine, we didn't get a Wolverine will return, but he will return. We'll definitely see them. I think in Secret
Yeah.
Wars, end of Secret Wars, we'll see. I really think we'll see Tony, Toby, and Hugh back in once again all together.
They're literally the big 3.
Yeah.
Like, real talk.
Yeah.
They are.
So I think we'll get it one day. So, speaking of Tony, again, I know this is the longest we've ever streamed consecutively.
On Monday, yeah.
On a Monday, which kind of works out because we're all just here. But
yeah.
So San Diego Comic-Con this past weekend, big news coming out from San Diego. Lots of Fantastic Four news. We got Thunderbolts news, which I was kind of okay with whatever we got, and then we got the reveal of Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, which
Don't
I guess
forget about Captain America: Brave New World.
We did get some Brave New World stuff. Well,
Yeah.
they touched on it a little bit, didn't they? Oh yeah, they did. They had everybody come out.
That was
That's
the first
right.
thing that they did.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's kind of back in mind just because it wasn't any kind of new revelations or anything.
Nah.
But getting
they
to see Harrison Ford
we saw that, and apparently on the show, like, if you were there, they showed footage of him turning into Red Hulk after doing
at the White House.
Yeah, at the White House.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. That hasn't surfaced.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah.
I have seen the Fantastic Four footage, which looked fantastic, obviously.
The Galactus tease at the end.
Yeah, the Galactus tease was crazy with the eyes coming down in the building.
Looking right into the building.
Yeah. But we can talk about the main thing, which I think is everybody on top of everybody's mind, is Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom in, I guess, basically he's confirmed for being in Avengers Doomsday.
Right.
Is what he's confirmed as.
Yes.
That's not to say there isn't going to be a Doom that is shown at the end of Fantastic Four. That's not to say there's going to be another Doom elsewhere, but in Doomsday, he is confirmed.
Right.
So Uch, we can let you start off with this because
sure?
Yes, because you have unless Crystal has something that she wants to say about it, but we know your opinion. You have broadcast your opinion already. We'll go quickly. What are you feeling? How are you feeling about this pick?
You want me first? Or you want me to go?
We'll go you first, and then we can go.
So you want to know how I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling great. I am 100% in approval of this. 100% approval of this. I'm actually more confused as to why more people aren't. Even though it's weird because, like, you were bringing up to me, and I don't know if you've seen any negativity, but, like, I've seen a lot of positivity, and you could hear the positivity in that reveal. Yeah. I mean, let's not. You can't fake that. You can't hire and say, "Hey, everybody at San Diego Comic-Con, we're about to show RDJ as Doom.
Right.
We're gonna need you to really turn it up." That's not happening. I'm fucking looking forward to it. That's why I'm gonna start off with.
All right.
So that y'all can go in.
Miss Chris.
So I actually feel indifferent.
Mm,
So I don't necessarily like I didn't have negative feelings about it. Um I kind of was a little bit excited, but I'm just curious as to how they're going to spin it.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, that
Yes,
was my
that.
main thing. I'm like cuz to me I feel like if they execute it properly, it's probably going to be one of the sickest things that we'll
Mm,
see in the
hmm
MCU. So I think it can be a great thing. They just need to execute it properly. So I don't know if that falls in being the indifferent realm, but that's exactly how I felt. I was a little bit I was like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
RDJ? That's not who I was expecting to see under that mask." But yeah, it's I think people kind of jump the gun a little bit too
Oh
much.
yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes whether it's good or it's bad. So for people just off the bat trying to say like this is not a good idea or whatever negative comments that are out there, it's like you never know. We
Yeah.
haven't read every single comic in the universe. We don't know how they're going to spin this,
Right.
and it could be probably one of the sickest stories that we'll
Yeah.
ever see unfold.
hmm
So
I respect that. I too. So I'll say this: when the announcement dropped, I was like, "Holy fuck! This is the craziest thing I've seen in my entire life." Because we
Facts.
see RDJ's there, rips off the mask, does the pose, right,
yeah.
just like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it was epic, and it was crazy. Um, adrenaline in my soul was pumping hard.
Oh my god.
And I was so excited about it. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, well, how are they going to spin this? Like what does this mean? Is it too early to bring RDJ back? It hasn't been
No.
that long. Well, I
No.
know, but this is what's running through my mind. Like, is it too
Okay,
early to bring
okay.
him back? It feels like a lot of people feel this way. This isn't exactly my sentiment, but a lot of people are like, this feels like a cop out for after losing Jonathan Majors to kind of restore faith in the MCU and everything that's going on. Let's bring in our heaviest hitter, the reason that we're here today. Let's bring back RDJ, have him in this role as Doom. Um, Joey's thinking, well, what the fuck does this mean? Like this is weird. Like how are this obviously cannot be. We can't take it at face value. Is what I'm thinking. Is like it doesn't make sense to bring him back. A lot of people are upset about him, about Doom being played by a non-Romani person, which there's a lot of Romani people that could obviously play this role very well. Like even Mads Mikkelsen was one of the people that people were like, just fucking cast Mads as him, and it's like perfect. But I think RDJ is an insane actor. Tropic Thunder, best, him in Tropic Thunder, being a white dude playing a black dude, disguised as another dude. And then his role in Oppenheimer was outstanding. And so RDJ has the chops, right?
Clearly.
He can do it. It's just a matter of, is he the right man for the job? And so I'm in that indifferent camp as well.
Yeah.
Um, because I want it to succeed and I want to see where he'll go with it. It's just like is this the right move? Like, would it have been better if RDJ was not revealed as Doom and we get that reveal somehow, like the mask shatters and it just happens to be Tony and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what is, like that would, I feel like this is almost like they needed to restore faith. They wanted to get the faith of the average consumer back.
Mhm.
And so how do you do that with you bring back, your heavy sitter? Sorry, I'm like peeking on my end.
Oh, you're
Um,
coming in good on ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it for me, I have a lot of feelings about it, but that's kind of like I'm in the same boat as you, Crystal. I am indifferent, but I'm very excited to see where it goes because we still have a few years. I don't know if they gave a date, like a year date.
2026
Yeah,
for
it's
Doomsday.
like 2
There's no
years from
fucking
now.
way.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
What-
these next 3 years are gonna be
we got
crack.
so Fantastic Four, literally like a year from
Today.
today.
Yes.
There's no fucking way in hell. There's no way. You
I think that's why I feel indifferent about it and why I think other people feel indifferent about it is because usually to make such a great project like for example Endgame, you had to build up for a very long time to be able to execute what was executed
Right.
and for people to feel the way they do. So to drop all of this, have like apparently they're starting to film for Fantastic Four tomorrow, and apparently it's coming out next year.
Godlike.
Yeah.
That's that's a
That's
little
crazy
concerning,
No,
turnaround.
it's
though.
concerning, but that's godlike.
No, it's concerning because it's like, okay, well, I hope that they don't fall in this hole again of just putting content out there to put content out there.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's why people are kind of weary about or have questions about RDJ being Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And, you know, the year after it's going to be the next movie and he's going to be featured in it, I guess. So, or he's going to be featured in Fantastic Four. So that's,
You would
Yeah.
imagine.
I
Yeah.
think someone said that he was going to be. I don't know.
He's
But
he's gonna have to be because this is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is a 90-degree pivot from Kang. Like it's literally like Kang and Doom are kind of related in some weird
Yes.
way. But so to go like you were saying, Crystal, like the buildup has been for Kang since Loki aired, right? Since Loki season 1, it's been Kang in all the movies, basically everything up to this point.
Yeah.
So to go specifically from full stop ahead, like full power towards Kang to okay, now we're literally going to pivot, and in 2 years we're going to build up Doctor Doom strong enough to be the big bad and usher us into this next era. It just feels like too fast. Like I would be okay with taking more time and waiting and like push back Avengers 6 and 7. Like I don't care. Like
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
actually.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So push them back and give us more time with Kang or give us more time with Doom.
Yeah.
Flashtep said, I would like to see Doom snuff Kang out to be the main threat. I could see that, or somehow using Kang as a pawn. But
Yeah.
right now it's like we know Doom is a threat, right? We are nerds. Nerds know that Doom is like the biggest bad ever, biggest bad
Fucking OD.
in the Marvel universe. The average consumer, little Jimmy that's going to the theaters with his dad, does not know that Doctor Doom is that, right? Like not everybody knows that Doom is that. So Crystal, to your point, how are they going to build him up? Like Thanos was as big as he was because he was in like every end credit scene, like he's looming, the purple bastard was everywhere, and so it's just how are they going to get there in 2 years time? And how are they going to
Exactly.
film it in 2 years time?
Exactly.
I got answers.
Fantastic Four's stretchy fucking shit is going to take years to animate.
Yeah, because
Unless
even
they got
even
unlocked.
like even Blade, they dropped that end credit scene or whatever it was in Eternals.
Fucking Eternals.
and now he's in the Deadpool movie, but that was like a couple years ago.
And
that
that
was
wasn't
like
even
2
him.
years ago, and
Yeah.
he doesn't even have his movie just yet.
Nope.
We're finally
the-
getting the payoff for the Celestial in Captain America:
In Brave New World.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. So that's why it's like people are concerned, and also people are also saying that they think that this is going to take away from Tony's death, and I completely understand that. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible to be able to not do that,
Right.
but it is very possible to take away from that
Yeah.
moment. So, and they just need to play their cards right, and I think that's why people are having the concerns that they have, and it's righted that they are. That's why
Yeah.
I felt indifferent when I saw it, because I'm like, what? There was no build up to this. This was just like out there. So I don't know if this is just a repercussion for because of what happened with Kang and Jonathan Majors and stuff like
Definitely.
that. But at the end of the day, it can be great. They can blow it out of the water, but they can also screw it up. So like royally screw it up.
All right.
What you got?
All right. So I have an answer for just about everything y'all both said.
Is it 2 words?
No. Nah. Okay, listen. What I think and believe is too much of what a lot of like y'all two and what everyone's concerned with, right? Are like these very like simple-minded ways of like approaching it. No offense.
He just called us simple-minded.
No.
What the Fuck.
I'm not.
No, it's
No.
not.
Listen. You gotta hear
Okay,
me out. Hear me out.
okay.
Okay.
We're listening.
The first thing that is being like discussed is this whole Kang situation, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because obviously, like, they built up Kang. They, just like with Thanos was a character that we got a lot of mention to, reference, some end credit scenes that he was a part of and whatnot. And that's very true. And he obviously was established as the big bad at the end of the first Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So from 2012 all the way to what, 2018, 2019?
Yep.
That's like a 6 to 7 year build right off of Avengers. From that Avengers to Infinity War and Endgame, you have at least that much of time to have that being built up. Now, the same can be slightly similar in the same vein with Kang, except the timing is a little bit, it's not as long because Kang was established in Loki season 1. Kang was not established in no film because the movies that they were coming out with had nothing to do with him. Loki is what really set that in motion. And then it wasn't until like Quantumania where he was featured in a film. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that was not even received well, despite how we felt. I felt, especially. Joey fucking hates that movie. Right? And so like, and even before his allegations, they were already contemplating on recasting him anyway, or to do repurposing that character altogether. So, and that was solely due to the performance of the movie, right? So when you take that into consideration, you got to now understand, listen, this ain't no fucking cop-out that they're bringing back RD Jizzle. You know what I'm saying? This is not a cop-out because he was already putting it out there into the universe that he was completely willing to come back, right? But we don't know how, right? Everyone just wants to assume, oh, as Tony. But to answer the other question, how, like, would this not take away his death and his sacrifice to lead us to this point? There's a couple things you can argue this, where one, the conversation of, is he the anchor point character to this timeline? Because notice how things have been going to shit ever since he died. You know what I'm saying? So that's one angle that you could look at it. The other angle is that if he's to come back, what is the difference between him and Hugh Jackman? People thought similarly, but they answered that in the first teaser that they released years ago about Wolverine and Deadpool, where they had a sit-down interview, and Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman was both like, so what our movie's going to do is not going to devalue what had already happened with Logan. Because Logan takes place in the future, and obviously he dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, Tony, our Tony, main universe 616 Tony, is dead. So what would take away anything if they bring him in as a variant anyway?
That's different.
But that's the point I'm trying to make.
No. I'm saying that it's different. That trying to the whole argument about like what's the difference between Wolverine dying and him coming back. I'm assuming that's what you meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's different because one, what has been going on with Fox. I mean, that's, you don't really have, there's not much to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's a different situation.
I think I only bring that up because I think it's silly to like have that thought of like, oh, like it'll just, if we bring him back just at face value, it just devalues everything that they already had established.
It's not silly.
No. Listen. It's silly if it's the same Tony. If it's like they're going to go back in time to prevent that from happening and then like, oh, kumbaya, it's the Tony, then sure.
Well, that's why we're saying we're indifferent. Like it's not, what I mean?
I can see it devaluing Tony's death if it's another Tony Stark, alternate universe Tony Stark that comes in to save the day, versus him coming back as another character. I personally don't think it's going to devalue Tony dying. I think if anything, it's going to cause a lot of chaos within. If this is to happen in 616, it's going to cause a lot of chaos between all the characters in and around the thing. But I don't think him coming back, to me, devalues it as him coming back as Doom. If it ends up being like it's Iron Man playing Doom, I know it wasn't the Russo brothers said there's only one person that could play Victor Von Doom, and then Tony. So he is Victor Von Doom supposedly in Doomsday. If it turns out that it is Tony cosplaying as Doom, I think there may be a little bit of that devaluing, but I don't feel that way. But I think there's a sect of Marvel fans who will feel that way.
All I'm saying is that we also have to take into consideration all the things that we don't know.
Well, that's why we're saying
we're indifferent.
So like I get it, right? Like I can understand the concern. I can understand like, oh shit, like are they sure about this? Is it the right move? Is it too soon? I feel like with the stories that they've already told us and what we have right now, they have every bit of not just potential, but every bit of reality to make this shit fucking go crazy. Because even the little bit that I was like theory crafting with you, and I'm like, okay, first things first, me not even knowing that there have been 2 previous comic book stories that have some sort of entanglement between Victor and Tony, is that we have RDJ. We know him as Iron Man. To me, he put his shades on while wearing the Doom shit was a indicator that is a Tony Stark variant for starters. Then the fact that he says different mask, same task, tells me he is going to have a Stephen Strange ass moment. And he's going to say, fuck everything and everybody. And we're going to have to do it my way. And that way is by on some Doom means. How he's going to get to that point, that's what we have to wait and see. It's not. I don't think it's going to be as simple as I'm just going to become Victor. It's going to be way more complex than that. We don't know how they're going to do that. There's some comics, like I said, that exist that we could probably look to and see maybe they can twist some things that happen where, like, from what I was told, Victor does an experiment and they do a body swap, like on some fucking Captain Ginyu shit, right? And then there's another story where it's like straight up Victor Von Doom, but he takes on the role of Iron Man.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so it's like but and the thing that a lot of people forget, not us, right, is that this is the MCU. This is not the comic CU, okay? This is a space where all these studios and directors and whatnot, they get to play with the things that have existed and change them. Adapt. That is what an adaptation is, and people forget that shit all the time. Even when something new comes up, like a new movie, like Captain America: Brave New World or Fantastic Four or whatever it is, they automatically try to headcanon it based on the knowledge that they have. And that way, and that is a gift and a curse. Because you could potentially be setting yourself up for disappointment when you don't see the things you're expecting. Which is why I'm just like, bro, this could be one of the best stories that the comics never even fucking got. Because through the MCU, we had the relationship get established between Tony and who? Peter Parker. And you cannot sit there and tell me that based on whatever the fuck happens with Tony leading into his ultimate becoming of Victor Von Doom as Dr. Doom, like, the first Avengers movie is called Doomsday. So in my head, I'm also, like, going back to what I was saying before, like, the things that they're not showing us. What if they have a Kang recasted? And the purpose of this new Kang for us visually is so that he gets bodied by this new Doom, right? This Dr. Doom, right? So that's how they deal with that in Doomsday, and that sets up obviously for Secret Wars, because
Right.
Doom has everything to do with Secret Wars. I was telling you, fucking Secret Wars is centered around Doom.
Yeah.
They need that motherfucker. And Secret Wars was already an established title, but way before they got rid of Kang Dynasty name,
Yeah.
right, for Avengers 5.
Right.
So, like, they needed him regardless. I don't
Yeah.
think it's a cop-out, even though they, I don't think it's a cop-out, that the fact that they got RDJ or whatever like that. But all I'm saying is that when they get to that point, there's going to be a moment where the people of the 616 universe, they see who this fucking tyrant is, and Peter is gonna have that fucking moment like, bro, I can't even believe this. I'm gonna fight who I thought was dead, even though because that's not him, really.
Right.
But we'll see. Well, we have to see what happens.
Yeah. There's a lot of
That's
people who don't like that because
I know,
it feels too easy. Like that feels like
Mhm.
that is not necessarily a cop out narrative, but it's too easy to do. Like that just seems too obvious, you know?
Yeah.
And
that's
like
why I think it makes it very complex, and why we're indifferent about this whole thing, because it to me I don't think it's simple minded. I don't think it's silly to think the things that could possibly happen or not happen, whatever have you. But not only that, but they can make a story that makes sense. They can make a story that's sick as hell, but if the fans aren't privy to it, it's not going to do as well
Yeah.
as you think it is. So, like, for example, me and you both liked Quantum Mania,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
both liked it. I didn't think there was, like, I thought it was really good. Apparently there's people who didn't like it.
A
yeah,
lot
it's
of
just,
people.
that's just some ass.
And that trickled effect, like, had this trickle effect of them talking about recasting Kang, like you said.
Yeah.
So even if they come up with a story that makes sense, even if they come up with a story that sounds good in theory, if the fans don't like it, it's going to show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think it makes it so complex, and why you have to tread carefully, because you have to put something out that's good, but you also have to put something out that people want.
And I could tell you right now, even though like, I think this is like the weird thing about this is that because RDJ being like returning to the MCU in this form even is a thing at this point, it's caused so much discourse, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of positive and there's a lot of negative, but either way, hella people are talking. So
Oh yeah, either way.
you know what I'm
And
saying?
so there's a theory that RDJ was announced as Doom to slide in the actual Doom underneath all the smoke.
And
and
that's
bring
the
him in.
other thing I was gonna
Yeah.
say is like there's nothing that says that he's the only Doom.
Right. As we've seen, there is 1,000 Wolverines. There are 1,000 Deadpool. You know, there could be. So
That's what I'm saying.
and that's why I'm indifferent. I think Crystal's probably in the same boat, where it's like, to me, RDJ should not play Doctor Doom fully. Like it should not be
Yeah, yeah.
he is Doctor Doom. This is who's going to lead us into the next saga. That in itself feels like a cop out to be like, okay, well, our next big bad, had a domestic abuse charges, so we're going to drop him and bring back RDJ. That in itself feels like a cop out. If they're using him to use him as smoke and mirrors to usher in what's actually going to happen, that is what I want to see. Like I'm expecting a twist, but I want the twist. I don't want to see him as Doom, because I have the feeling that, and I've talked about this before with superhero movies, is that they never like wearing the mask. The only reason that Ryan Reynolds wore the mask for all of Deadpool is because it took 8 hours to do his fucking makeup otherwise. And so what's the best way to get around that? Put the fucking mask on his head and have him do the lines, right? And so people are afraid that RDJ will not wear the Doom mask, where that's his biggest thing, is he wears the mask. And the mask is, in some stories, is like melted to his face, like is his face. So if he doesn't wear the mask and he is presenting himself as RDJ playing Doom versus he is Doctor Doom, that's what people are afraid of. So I want to be surprised. Like I want them to change it. And yeah.
So I have a question then.
Yeah.
So like, is it a true cop out if they were planning to bring RDJ back anyway?
as bring him back in any capacity, or bring him back as Iron Man?
Well, here's this thing though. I think we're getting both in one way or another, because if this is a Tony Stark variant that turns into Doom, then yeah, we are going to get an Iron Man return, even though it's multiversal. But then again, this is the literal phase that we've been in and are still in. We're in this multiverse saga.
I thought he was coming back regardless, even before all this
So
stuff.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that
know?
then a true cop out?
I think it's a cop out in bringing him back specifically to play Doctor Doom. Him coming back as a superior Iron Man, where he's like an evil version. I'm all about that shit. Like that's great. Give me that all day. Sorry, I'm trying to snag a fucking key for Rivals real fast because it's 8 o'clock. I think I got it.
Hey.
No, I didn't get it.
Nah.
Can I get PlayStation 5? Everything's out. Yeah, well, this fucking website sucks. Anyway, okay. Sorry. I just want to play the game with you so fucking bad. Him coming back as Doctor Doom specifically feels like the Russo brothers are like, let's play the greatest hits again. Like this worked before, let's bring him back to have it. So if he's only there for Doom, it just doesn't sit well with me. You could have got some crazy Romani actor to play the role and actually do it justice, because his Romani background is like very important to his character. Like him
you're right.
being from that area is huge. Just like Magneto needs to be a Holocaust survivor. Like that, you cannot it needs to be a Jewish person playing that, because it's integral to the role. So that's why I have issue with Tony being Doom, being Doom. We call him Doom Prime, right? Because it's like, being the Doom.
Yeah.
But if he is, for whatever reason, like a pawn, like this Doom pulled Iron Man from another timeline, brought him in, is using him as like a Doombot leader or whatever, then I'm good with that. But it's just like it feels like they were on their back foot with losing Jonathan Majors and had to restructure everything. And especially everything that happened with New World Order, which is now whatever the fuck, the
Brave New World.
America Brave New World. They had to restructure that with everything going on with Israel, and so it's like it feels like they're on their back foot, and so they're relying on nostalgia factor. They're relying on who they can trust, and it feels like that. Whether that's true or not is to be seen. I know we'll see it in a year or so, but I feel like they could have picked somebody new, and it would have been great.
We could still very much have that though.
Yeah, and that's what I want. Like I want to want this, like I want to really like this decision. It's just not hitting. It hit really hard for me at first. It was like, oh, this is awesome. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was just
the shock factor is obviously there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like seeing him, who he was a character that was so like, he made people love Iron Man.
Well, he made people love Marvel again.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah. So he put a lot of things for this genre on the map.
Mm-hmm.
So like for him to come back in this way, it does so many things where it's like we truly have to wait and see. And I think that's one of the bigger issues that a lot of people are having, is that they cannot reason or quantify like how this could work out successfully.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence where I'm just like, bro, they got the Russo brothers to direct the next 2 Avengers films, just like with Infinity War and Endgame, and look how godlike those movies were.
Yeah, and Winter Soldier.
Look how godlike Winter Soldier was.
Right.
Okay? So it's like you got the 2 directors that are obviously very integral to the success of those films when they come. Mixing how they added a twist, but not giving us all the information, obviously, because we're doing their job for them. We're promoting the shit out of it, whether it's good opinions or it's bad opinions, right? Everybody loves it. Everybody hates it. And honestly, that kind of press is great.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Because listen, I'm at this point, I never even was offended that people think it's a terrible idea they think it's a cop out, they think it's whatever. Everybody can say and feel how they want. That's the beauty of having an opinion, whether you're wrong or you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, but respecting people's cultures is very important.
no, no,
as
no.
well,
Yeah.
It's
know?
that's very true, and
And
I'm with that.
and I heard like because just like Joey was saying, I also heard that like his role, like specifically his past, had a lot to do with his background and his culture.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
he
You
from
know,
Latveria,
Yep.
and like his mother died, and he recognized that he was the smartest one amongst all his people,
Yeah.
and his mom was like a witch or some shit, and like he combines technology and magic, and that's what makes him so fucking powerful.
Yeah. He's a better magician than Stephen Strange is.
He's like apparently he was like runner up to be Sorcerer Supreme, or he at some point became Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's just like,
He could body Strange in a one-on-one
Yeah.
fight easy.
and that's and like bro, like either
Need to
way,
see that. That's
it,
what I
it
want to see.
it is godlike. Now, I think like going into it, it's gonna be really sick when we see how Tony portrays this character. I mean, we still gotta see how the fuck they even get to that point because
Yeah.
I truly feel like Doomsday is going to start off set in another universe altogether, and we're going to see what events took place with Tony that lead him
Uh,
to becoming Doom. And
Interesting.
then, taking out Kang and taking
Yeah.
out Thanos. Like everyone's like the one thing I've definitely seen is a lot of people are like, I hope they recreate this moment where in Secret Wars, all the Avengers and like all the villains and shit, they come together, they're fighting, and Thanos is there, and everyone knows Thanos is a big threat, this and that, and the third, right? And if they bring Thanos back for this as a cameo, because this will be a true cameo, he's like, oh, I am inevitable. Guess what happens? He gets one shotted in the comic, disintegrated by Doom.
Doom literally like grabs him by the throat and then just disintegrates his entire being.
Doom can
It's
kill you with a
crazy.
thought.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So
And
I did notice that like specifically in Deadpool Wolverine, they made it a fact that he is not in the 616 universe. That the Fox shit happened in 10,005.
it was like, yeah,
10,005.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So and they're making it a fact that Fantastic Four is also set in a separate universe.
Correct.
And same with everything that happened at the end of the Marvels. So I
Yes.
agree with you that it's obviously multiversal Tony will probably take place not in the 616, and
Yes.
then
Mhm.
that's when we get the incursion with 616. I think that's probably what will end up happening.
Yeah. And then who knows? Because we we don't know how the story's gonna play out.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, and I mean not just by the end of Doomsday, but by the end of Secret Wars, we will probably get a Tony moment, like coming through as an Iron Man figure, so we can get that big moment with him, Toby, and Hugh. And by then, there could be that Armenian ass real Doom. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Accent and all, and
Yeah.
it'll be godlike.
I can only hope so. I really I just there's a and this is coming from a white man, but there has been a lot of whitewashing done within Marvel that people are not happy about, specifically with like Wanda and Quicksilver
Oh, yo, I forget
and a
about
bunch of
that.
other
Yeah.
characters too. So it's like I think there's a lot of people of color, people of other nationalities that were like, okay, you're gonna cast the white dude from New York to play the Romani character again. So I think Disney knows what to do. Kevin Feige definitely knows what to do, so I'm gonna let him cook. Kevin Feige's like he is Marvel Jesus. Like he knows.
The
Yeah,
true,
he
yeah.
actually is Marvel Jesus. So I'll give it time. It's just with the information we have right now, it just isn't looking great. But who's to say? We don't know.
We don't.
We don't know. We'll know in 1 year's time,
Which is nuts.
apparently.
Well, wait. So when you say 1 year's time, are you assuming that there's gonna be some sort of hint or tease in the Fantastic Four movie?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be Galactus versus
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. We know that, and we'll probably see some version of Molecule Man. I would imagine.
Uh huh.
And Silver Surfer. Obviously, you got to have Silver Surfer with
And what I
But-
mean, and Doom is a Fantastic Four
and
villain,
right. And so
so
I think we'll see Doom post credit scene. Have to.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any mention of Doom well, Brave New World could have some Doom elements in it because Doom is very much so world government. And we saw that in 97 where with Bastion talking to like all the leaders of fucking the world
Oh
basically,
yeah, yeah, okay.
So we
Sure,
could
sure.
potentially see some Doom stuff because I don't know what else they would, how else is that going to tie into the story, right? Outside of having Bucky.
Mhm.
What else we're getting? Thunderbolts. Oh yeah, sorry, Thunderbolts in with Bucky. So I don't know. It'll be he could be somehow in Thunderbolts. I'm just trying to figure out how it meshes in. I don't know how Kang would have meshed in. Obviously, they'll have to slot in,
Yeah,
but-
like Kang, like look at the next 3 movies that are coming out.
right.
It's fucking Cap, it's Thunderbolt, and it's Fantastic Four. Kang maybe could be shown through Fantastic Four, but that's one
Yeah,
movie
that would have been
prior
yeah.
to Doomsday.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I am hopeful because I'm very excited for Fantastic Four. Obviously, the test footage or the leaked footage that we saw looked great, looked awesome.
Mhm.
Everybody looked
Yeah.
really good. Thing is human sized, which is a lot of fun. He just looks like a really big fucking dude. Love that.
Mhm.
And then the car. Oh my god, the car flying through Hall H was crazy. So I'm very high on Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts, whatever. It's kind of pretty low on my radar. I'm kind of like
yeah,
okay.
high key. That's the one that I don't really know how well or not that's gonna do.
Yeah. It's a team up movie.
It's a bunch of
with-
B and C characters.
Yeah.
I like the
So
characters in it though.
Like I like Yelena the
I
most.
love
Yeah.
Yelena.
Like
Bucky.
Red Guardian, funny. Bucky, yeah.
Bucky's great.
But then it's like Ghost and like Taskmaster.
Yeah. Fuck Taskmaster.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. Who I know you love. So
Yeah.
and yeah. And your favorite, fucking John Walker,
John Walker.
fucking
Yep.
fake Cap, U.S. agent or not?
Mm.
No.
Yes. Yeah. U.S.
Oh,
agent.
I was
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that movie. It could turn out to be like a Guardians thing, and we like love the team up, love the team of the ragtag villains, anti-hero kind of
I
thing.
don't know.
So
I
we'll see.
truly have no idea. I feel like it'll be okay at best.
Yeah. But I'm very excited for Brave New World. I think Brave New
That
World's
one,
cool.
yes.
Because getting to
100%.
see
So good.
getting to see Isaiah Bradley back using his super soldier shit, gonna be
Yeah.
great. Getting to see Sam Wilson back
Yep.
again, new
Once
suit,
again.
maybe some adamantium shield
Yeah, they mentioned it.
or
Yeah.
adamantium wings. Maybe we'll see because
Oh, damn.
we're getting it in the MCU now.
Yep.
But I'm really excited about that because Harrison Ford is a great actor. He's
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. He's a
Yeah.
legendary actor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he seemed like he was very excited to do the movie, and to
Mhm.
see Red Hulk was going to be fucking awesome.
Godlike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier. So the slate ahead is interesting to say the least. Oh,
The
and then
next
we're
3
getting
years.
more news at the D23 Expo, August 7th.
That's for the animated stuff, right?
Probably. Well, it's the Disney Expo, so it probably will be like Eyes of
Oh,
Wakanda, What If
true.
Season 3, and then Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
That is supposed to come out this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So
Yeah.
who knows? We'll see. Pretty good slate lined up though. It's going to be. I think I don't know if I sent this to you. Everybody fucking texted me the morning after with all the RDJ stuff, and I was like, well, there's a lot that could happen. It feels like the backlog from COVID is finally over. Like
Yes.
Thunderbolts, Brave New World, Fantastic Four, I think is a more newer. I mean, they just started filming, so it feels like everything's kind of finally coming out. So that's why it kind of feels like everything's happening.
Mhm.
Where I think after next year is going to be slow release. It'll probably be like 1 movie, 2 shows, potentially a year.
Yeah. Yeah, because
so-
I mean, well, next year we're gonna have 3 films,
It's gonna be fucking crazy.
and that's all within the first 7 months of next year. So
We'll-
it's like
We'll get
like,
a 97 season 2 at the end of next year.
I can't wait for that.
I can't wait either, dude.
You know what? Wait. You know what the fucking weird thing is? They said they're not doing quantity anymore, but next year is stacked.
Well, that's what I'm. Because of the COVID backlog.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh,
the
okay,
cat-
yeah.
Which is what I'm
Okay,
saying,
yeah.
Is they're finally? It's all finally catching up, and then it's going to be a.
And then it's gonna be
Yeah.
chilling. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
yeah,
which
that
is
makes
which I'm
sense.
okay with. So
Mhm.
that what people call Marvel fatigue may set in next year just because there's going to be so many releases. But I think Fantastic Four is going to pull everybody back in. Like, I have so much faith in them because I love the Fantastic Four movie, like the original one, so much. It's just fun. Like, it's a good time. It's super corny. It was great.
Yeah, the first two were good.
Yeah, they're
really
great.
good.
Especially
Yeah.
Silver Surfer was fucking awesome.
That was
like,
fucking
oh my
awesome.
god, the scene where Silver Surfer's trailing them and he kind of like morphs through the board and comes
shit
out
was
the other side. Oh, so
Woo.
sick, dude.
That part.
Yeah.
So good. I'm currently going down the Wikipedia list of release order for Marvel films, and so I did start with Blade, watched Blade,
Yeah,
X-Men,
watch
and
those.
then I skipped Spider-Man because I just watched
Yeah,
Spider-Man
yeah,
recently.
yeah.
So now I'm on
What do you
Blade
think?
2.
Oh, okay.
On Blade 2, and then X2, I think, and then it's like Iron Man. So it's
Mm-hmm.
slowly working the way down the list. So, but I'm excited to watch Fantastic Four. It's gonna be good. And the cast is awesome. But
Yeah.
so the way that people are with RDJ right now, I feel like is how they were with Pedro. Is everybody was like, why is Pedro playing Reed Richards? This doesn't make any sense. But now that we've seen more of it, we're kind of understanding the plot a little bit more. People are kind of warming up to the idea. I think once this initial shock is over from the RDJ announcement, I think people will calm down and probably warm up to it. Because I think once people start theory crafting, like once new rock stars come out with theories and everybody else starts coming out with shit, it's going to be like oh yeah, I want RDJ to play Doom all along,
Yeah.
But I will
man.
say, apparently RDJ auditioned for Doom back in the day.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact. I actually found out that recently as well.
So full circle. I guess it must have stuck with Kevin for forever, right? Who fucking knows, man?
I mean, like I said, everything has intention, and there's always going to be some sort of bigger thing behind it that we cannot see right now
Yeah.
because we're not in the know. But
Right.
whatever they got cooking, because you like in my mind, I have so much faith in them because like you can't just do something like that with and not have something
exactly.
crazy about to happen.
Exactly.
Because that's like that'd be the biggest throwaway thing, like not only would that devalue Iron Man altogether and what he stood for and what had happened, but like you would shit on a lot of things that would have to deal with it.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a waste.
It would be a waste. I do really want to see a superior Iron Man, though. I remember when Multiverse of Madness was coming out and everybody was theorizing that Tom Cruise was going to play superior Iron Man. And I would have been all about that shit. That would have been crazy.
Is superior Iron Man just another like Iron Man, or is he like evil?
He's
or
the
some shit?
evil one.
Evil.
Yeah.
I didn't know
He's got like the silver suit with the white lights coming off of it all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to see that.
I didn't know that.
I also heard a theory. I saw this theory is potentially if you're gonna, I think I sent it to you, Uch, is that if you're gonna lean into bringing RDJ back and making him evil Iron Man, you need to go full bore
Hydra
and bring everybody back as evil versions of themselves versus the current Avengers. And I was like, man, that would suck so hard. Seeing like Hydra Steve Rogers, the superior Strange when he takes on all the
Holy
fucking shit, everything like
nah.
that. Then you have Scarlet
Broken.
Witch Wanda.
Broken.
You can have, I don't know what version of Hulk is evil, but
Bro,
I think that would be to have like that happen in Secret Wars. That could have been what Secret Invasion could have been. Just saying.
Nah, listen. What you're saying would have to happen in X-Men versus Avengers. AVX.
You make the Avengers the bad guys. And it's not just like a civil war where it's like ideologies.
Yeah, like
more of like these guys actually fucking suck. So then you get Hugh Jackman, Channing Tatum, everybody else to fight the Avengers.
Yeah, something.
Halle Berry, bring her back.
People are so tight that there was no X-Men news from San Diego Comic-Con.
It's impossible. You can't.
It's too soon. That's what's too soon.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
We just got a taste.
That's the next phase after Multiverse Saga's over.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what's gonna be. It's gonna be the Mutant Saga after this.
It's just gonna be all X-Men movies, and I'm so fucking excited about it. That's all I want.
It's gonna be godlike.
Yeah, fuck everything else. There's enough story in X-Men for the next 100 years.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they like even if they call it the mutant saga, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to do away with everything else. Like,
Right.
it's just gonna be a whole lot less of what we're used to, maybe, but it's
Yeah.
just gonna have way more mutant involvement. I mean, like, who teams up with the X-Men? You know what I'm saying? It's like Spidey, you got Cap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
like we'll be all right.
Everybody does eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We need a badass grown Cyclops. Absolutely.
So you are all
Absolutely.
right. So let me ask you this: are you on the camp of bringing back any of the previous Cyclops actors, or you want someone else?
I would want someone else. I want someone new. I think Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, but I
Correct.
think post Secret Wars, we'll see a whole new cast. I think you almost have to, outside of like maybe a few standouts. But I feel like I think the fantastic. Oh, who survives? It's really just like the Richards family. Like the Fantastic Four people are really the only people that survive because Franklin like rebuilds the fucking universe. So
Franklin is broken.
yeah, Franklin's crazy. So when Franklin gets introduced, that's when you know shit's going down. So I think I would want a whole new cast. I think bringing in Hugh and having him in like an old man Logan role would be cool. Not like the Logan, but having him, playing like an older Logan would be cool. But at that point, you almost need fresh meat. Like you just clean the slate and just have a whole new cast.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the interesting thing with this whole incursion situation that's like obviously getting built towards is that even after it happens, there's still a multiverse that exists.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like it's just 616 is now including all of what other universes already
Right.
had because we already saw Wolverine fighting Hulk in
Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine. So right then, right off that shit, and then I saw someone was speculating that 838 with Wanda, her father's Magneto in that universe. I saw that floating around.
838 was where
That
Charles and that was Multiverse of Madness.
that was Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
that Wanda's the one who actually has the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
What you
so
thinking, Crystal? I saw your brain turning.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I saw that there was talks of Kiki Palmer playing Rogue.
Oh my god, it'd be so good.
I'd be down.
Mhm.
Did you see
I
her
approve.
cosplay of Rogue?
Yes.
Bro,
As a
that was
Rogue fanatic,
so
I approve.
good.
100%.
I love Kiki Palmer.
Yeah,
She's great.
She's been saying she would love to play that too.
I heard her talk, and I was like, "You got it.
Yeah.
You're hot."
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Yeah, she has the accent.
Kiki
Yeah,
Palmer,
exactly.
Channing Tatum, romance. I'll take it. Give it to me.
Mhm.
Give
Yeah.
it to me. How old's Channing? Channing's got to be like mid 40s now.
So
I think so.
yeah, man.
Whatever. I'm about
Yo,
it.
okay,
Old
wait.
Cajun man.
I don't know why this came to mind. You know who I want cast as Cyclops?
You got.
John Cena.
No. If you're gonna do that, bring in
my
Austin Theory for Cyclops, bro.
Get the fuck. You know, I kind of see it, but get the
I know,
fuck
that's the
out of
issue.
here.
He's so annoying.
He's
is.
such a tool.
Yeah. A lot of people wanted Cavill as Cyclops, but I think Cavill's too big.
Cavill,
think-
no.
Mhm.
As soon as I saw him as Wolverine and I heard
perfect.
him talk and shit, I was
Yeah.
like,
Dream casting. Yeah.
I can accept him as a variant.
Yes.
Not as main not as main
Okay.
Wolverine.
No, he needs to come back. We need him in Secret Wars. He's a secret weapon.
All those no, dude, tell me why and how he looked bigger as Wolverine than he did as Superman.
And he didn't even train for that shit.
Oh, no.
There's no he just looks like that normally. That's just him.
No way.
You know? Yeah, he
He's
always looks
OD.
like that. Oh no, because he's been training for the Warhammer movie.
Damn, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That
So
shit look crazy.
he's like a big for that shit. So this is like
Holy fuck.
could you imagine? I would if he came back as Wolverine and he sounded good too.
Yes.
Like he yeah. And then he did the fing fing and he did like the arm.
Oh, that's you were just like, come on now.
Cavill's a man's man. I love him.
Listen, Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds says, like, hey, we'll treat you better over on this
Yes,
side of the
exactly.
street, bro.
Yeah. After Hugh, I'm good with Henry. Yes, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
John
don't-
Cena Cyclops, though.
No, he's too old now. He's balding. Cyclops needs to have
Yes, he
hair,
is.
dude. But I think another wrestler turned actor could probably work as an X-Men. But I think you definitely it's gonna have to be a fresh cast. I don't even know who you would do as Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's obviously gonna be like the core team coming back first, right? Like
I
it's-
could
it's
see
gonna
your
be-
girl as Storm. That one, your one. Who's your favorite actress? I forget her name.
Oh, Angela
Angela Bassett. I can see her as Storm.
Ooh, I love
Oh.
me some
Oh,
Yeah.
but wait,
Angela
she was.
freaking
Oh, but
Bassett.
she was T'Challa's mom.
She was.
Oh, I forgot about that. Damn.
Hey,
Multiverse though. Hey.
Multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her though.
Yeah, because I think a more like having age range within the core X-Men team is needed. So having like an older woman play Storm would be perfect. Having an older Gambit would be perfect, and then having like I don't know a younger brash um Cyclops could be good, so long as he is still that like Boy Scouty role, like you know what I mean. Where the after watching back through X-Men and X2 and seeing how he acted, I was like, no, this kind of sucks. Like I'm kind of over this Cyclops. Like after seeing 97 and how that all turned out, like I need that
That's-
same energy again. Right?
That's a leader right there.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Fucking Scott Summers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hype.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we got. Unless you guys have anything else you want to say.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was a special 2-hour edition of
Yes, it was.
Incredibly. Are we coming back Wednesday for the games or?
We'll see. Might as well keep it going. But this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I want to see if I don't return my computer by Wednesday, then yeah, for sure. Because I can sustain doing this for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Right.
I guess just the dual stream was a little tough for me. So, but yeah, if you stuck around, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You already commented if you're here, probably. We'll probably do this after August 7th. We'll probably do another one of these, most likely for I guess it's next week. When's the 7th? The 7th just that
What
is
is that, next Wednesday?
next Wednesday. Oh, fucking perfect. Look at that.
Oh, for what, D23?
Yeah,
I
D23.
think.
I don't know how many days it is. It is next Wednesday. Let me see. How many days is D23?
I remember when D23 kind of goes hard because especially on social media, like they be announcing like this is coming at this date, and it's like a thread. It's
Yes.
like and this and
That's because
this.
it's Disney.
and-
Disney's crazy.
Yo, they be releasing mad shit. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, Disney fatigue. Hello, that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Did you get the trailer for the Mufasa movie? During
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I know. I was watching. I was like, yeah, I know Uchi's popping off right now.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love me some Lion King, man.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure we'll get confirmation on what day the Marvel stuff is. I'm assuming it's probably going to be spread out over the length of 3 days, but we'll at least be able to do coverage of day one on Wednesday, which will be really nice. So,
True, yeah.
and then if there is like a crazy ass announcement that is to come, we'll
see.
figure it out from there.
Play
Yeah,
it by
because
ear.
yeah. But otherwise, thanks for sticking around. And if you're watching this back, thanks for watching through and bearing with us for all the technical
Hiccups.
difficulties.
Yeah.
But Crystal, thank you for joining us once again. It's always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and thanks for I know Uchi and I we've been talking about doing this every day since Thursday, so it's good that we actually got to do it. So
Yeah.
if you want to follow us on the socials, follow us in the links down below. Everything can be found in the episode description. And then we'll have some sort of timestamps in the future. So thanks for watching. Everybody have a good night, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.